So, Gigabash recently received its second outing of guest character packs with its Ultraman DLC. And I have some words about it. Not only that, however, as I would also like to talk about the future of Gigabash and how the game could possibly evolve. Alright, to start off, much like the Godzilla DLC pack released last year, the Ultraman packs use 4 characters from the popular series enter the world of Gigabash. We have Ultraman, wow, who would have guessed, Alien Balton, my personal favorite of the bunch, Ultraman Tiga and Kamehara. I haven't seen the movie she's from. I have no idea how to pronounce it, sorry. Now, while there was some backlash from fans that we got 3 humanoid ultras, 1 bipedal alien, and 0 kaiju, I believe that getting some non-kaiju giants was a great way to add more variety to the roster. Now, if only we could get some quadrupedal kaiju in the future, hashtag gear on for Gigabash. I want to start by saying that every character has a beautifully stunning model, great animations, some cool mechanics, and even some neat source material references. But there is one small thing that isn't here that got me thinking. Where are the alternate skins? Every character in the vanilla roster has a decent amount of recolors to personalize your experience as well as easily distinguish yourself amongst mirror matches. Hell, some characters even got entirely new alternate models with their own set of recolors when the Godzilla DLC dropped. Even the Godzilla characters all got 4 different colors each, but what did the Ultraman characters get? Can you see the difference? It's the goddamn light source. You know what makes this even funnier? There's an option to turn off character and object sheen in the options. So this sad attempt at giving us something to distinguish players by can be made completely invisible through a simple graphical option. There were so many ways to make this work. Simple recolors, obviously, but for Ultraman and Balton specifically, each slot could have been a different model or coat of paint. Ultraman could have had a Zoffy or Jack alternate. They could have one with the awful Type A helmet look. We could have had one with Zarab imitation Ultraman, just to name a few. Balton could have had his second appearance look, Balton Jr., or even a Mecha Balton if you really want to pull one from left field. Now, Passion Republic Games are a passionate and hardworking studio, and I do not want to put the blame on them for this. I can almost guarantee this is due to how tight of a leash Tsuburaya keeps on our Ultraman IP. I am grateful we were able to get this DLC at all, and I'm sure Passion Republic gave us the best they were able to under whatever restrictions they were given. The reason I think this, outside of only being given different colored light sources to use with the characters, is, for one, that Tsuburaya stamped their name onto the character gameplay demos in the move list section for each of their characters. The vanilla cast doesn't have any of that, and the Godzilla DLC doesn't have that, despite also being a licensed third party. Yet the 4 Ultraman characters have the equivalent of Andy's name under Woody's boot stuck to their in-game presence, as if to say, yeah, I guess you can borrow my toys, but we gotta make sure that you know they belong to us. Another thing is that, oddly, the Ultraman DLC isn't available in Japan or mainland China. Like, what? I've never heard of DLC being region locked. Okay, wait, that's a lie. There was that one Samurai Showdown and Puzzles and Dragons costume DLC that never made its way to the States. But I digress. Ultraman originates from Japan. It just seems so illogical to keep the biggest fanbase percentage locked out of something like this. I'm sure it cost a hell of a lot of money for Passion Republic to get the Ultraman license, and for what I am to assume is because of Tsuburaya themselves, is going to have a very difficult time getting returns or even a profit when a huge percentage of Ultraman fans are simply unable to support and enjoy them in this game. This leads me into the next thing I wanted to discuss regarding Gigabash. What does the future hold? As much as I adore this game and appreciate immensely that the developers were able to bring together Godzilla and Ultraman onto one console game for the first time ever, I fear that many people are setting expectations that this game is trying to, or is going to become, the Smash Bros. Of kaiju brawlers, bring together giants from across orphan series into one destructible landscape. But I don't think Gigabash should go down that road. While it's for sure unbelievably cool to see your favorite series get some reps in what seems like the only notable kaiju brawler on modern consoles, things like that can cost developers a lot of money, which they can hope to make back on sales for those packs. There isn't exact data provided out there, but we don't know how much the licensing fees, development costs, distribution costs, and whatever else was. And we also don't know how many people bought the DLC, if they even bought the game to begin with. Gigabash itself has not really gotten itself out there, and most of its exposure is through word of mouth on social media, especially when the Godzilla and Ultraman DLCs came out. I highly doubt Gigabash is really raking in tons of sales, even after spending so much dev time getting Xbox and Switch version out at the initial launch on PC and PS4. Again, this is all speculation, but I definitely think Passion Republic may be barely passing minimum sales with their crossover DLCs in hopes of gaining new fans who are fan of them. And that brings me back around again to getting these crossover packs. Will Passion Republic keep trying to gain new players by being able to say, hey, look, the thing you like is in our game, with drops of other original content coming in between? Or will they eventually shift focus onto trying to improve the great product they already have? As mentioned before, when the Godzilla DLC dropped, a few characters received entire alternate models, complete with recolors, alongside the new Onslaught single-player mode, which is what I've been playing in the background footage. And with the Ultraman DLC, they introduced beam clashes a la Godzilla Save the Earth, and an early version of a replay system complete with some camera control to get some nifty shots. New original content is not being entirely forgotten about with these DLC packs, but having to divide the team between working on programming 4 new characters and implementing some quality of life features makes me feel like some time spent on solely building upon the foundation they have to work with already can turn this from a great game to an amazing one. Some new modes, like an Unleashed style adventure mode with some unique experiences, online onslaught, more game customizations like a speed and gravity multiplier, or a ranked 1v1 mode for those competitive players, would allow a lot more ways for people to enjoy Gigabash. I don't want to come off as cynical in this video. I love Gigabash. I bought it the day it released, and bought it again when the Switch version came out, including both DLCs on both versions. I'm just worried that the devs and or the fans will end up turning this game into a kaiju intellectual property jamboree and forget about the game part of the game, simply because people keep asking for their favorite kaiju, mech, or alien to be invited. The original cast of the game, while having many of their direct inspirations now added to the roster, still have a good amount of charm to them with lots of lore to be expanded upon. Building the world which Gigabash takes place in, and introducing new original members with story connections to the world would allow this game to stand on its own, especially after the licenses eventually expire and the DLC packs are forever locked away from future purchase. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it. Listening to me rambling about some fucking kaiju game that like nobody knows about. But yeah, I really just wanted to share my thoughts on those two topics I covered in this video. Originally, I just wanted to do the Ultraman thing. Then I realized there wasn't really enough to do like a whole video by itself about it. So I decided to also turn that into a potential look into the future of what Gigabash could turn into, the direction it's heading, what I feel like is happening with it. And like I said, you know, during the video, I love Gigabash. It's a great game. I think if you enjoy any sort of kaiju action at all, you should definitely go out and buy it. Support the game, support the DLC. If you like the Godzilla or Ultraman or all that, if you want to see more added in the future. I know saying that is kind of counterintuitive to what I was making my point before, but I mean, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this crossover DLC is really the only like big content drops that we could get for this game. We don't really know. The devs don't really share too much about what they're working on, which, it's not really a negative. They're not required to tell everyone what they're doing with their game. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this video. I don't really do long essay type videos like this normally. I'm trying to break out of my comfort zone a little bit. Could definitely tell I need some better practice reading lines, being more consistent in my thought process while speaking, using less vocal filler, the ums and uhs, definitely cutting those out a lot when I'm editing. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about Gigabash, if you have it, if you planning to get it, if you like it, if you don't like it. It's just a great time all around. Thank you.